Hello everybody. It's garlic scape season. So my favorite way to use up all of my garlic scapes is by making pesto. And I actually was going to film this from the beginning, but I think I got too excited and I put it all in here and I already started up. But what I did is I cut the ends off the garlic scapes, these little thingies, cut all those little thingies off the end. And I did 2 cups of garlic scapes. So to here, 2 cups of that, put it in the food processor. And then in my garden, I just pick as much basil as I can and parsley, and I put a little bit of dill in there. Again, cooking is a creative process to me. I just put in probably a handful of each one of those, never really measured. And then put the lid on, put it on high, and then I turn it down to low. And as it's on low, I add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. So let's do that. And it starts to make the garlic scapes creamy. And I let that get. And I let that, just the garlic scapes, just because they are so hard, I try and let them go for a little while. Now I'm gonna turn it on high, okay? Awesome. Okay, so now it's pretty finely chopped. As I add the walnuts and stuff, it'll get even finer eventually. So now a little bit of salt. About that much? Half teaspoon. And a 1/2 cup of Parmesan. I do Parmesan petals. I don't know, that's what I have in the house, so that's what I use. 1/2 cup of that. Of course, a little bit more, because who doesn't love cheese? So, Parmesan cheese. And then walnuts. So, you're supposed to do pine nuts, which I was just going to spend the money this year and get pine nuts, but I haven't, and it's time to make garlic scapes, so we're using walnuts again. It gives it, as I read online, like a little more earthy flavor, but it's fine. So put walnuts in there. What else goes in? I think that's it. It's like garlic scapes, herbs, salt, Parmesan, olive oil, and nuts. And then let's zap this and see what we got. Very creamy. Okay. So, not really sure where my spatula went. Oh, here it is. I was in the other, I've actually made 2 batches of this because it's so good. And then I will show you when I'm done how I preserve this, I guess you could say. Of course, I always do this in the morning when I am still basically in my pajamas and I don't have any makeup on, because that's when I cook the best, because my mind is focused. All right, that should be good. Of course, we have to do a taste tester. I think I could use a little more salt. A little more salt, a little more olive oil, and I think I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese. I don't know, it just doesn't have the pizzazz as the last one. So this is what I mean by creativity. Just, you know, if you taste it and it's not quite right, just add a little bit more. This is always my key. If my food doesn't taste quite right, it always just needs a little more salt, and that usually does it. Does it for me. Okay. Let's see if this is right. Oh, it's so weird how just adding that little bit of extra salt makes such a difference. So here's my first batch. Put all this here. Okay. Okay. So we've got that. Now, I just hope and pray that my jars, that I clean them properly when I put them away, because I hate cleaning jars when I go to do something. But there's like a long dill thing I guess we don't need in there. But I just fill my jars as best I can. And then I freeze it. I just pop these jars into the freezer. They freeze beautifully. When you thaw them, out, like they don't have any excess like runniness or water to them at all. They freeze so wonderfully. And the other thing is, because they have that little bit of olive oil in there, I can actually take them out frozen, because I never pre-think anything like this. And I can actually kind of like cut it with a knife and get it out, which I really love. So I guess I could wipe this rim here, which would probably be a good idea. Wipe that rim, put a lid on it, and put that in the freezer, and like I am done. It is so wonderful.